Hey entrepreneurs, Sam Day here from DeyTips, and in this video I just wanted to share some of my thoughts, what I've been doing in terms of marketing, what I've been doing in terms of running my offline business, and how some of this can help you guys with running your businesses or doing your marketing or whatever it might be. So this is my Let's Chat series. For those of you who don't know, you might be new to this channel or just coming across this video. This is a series on the channel where I don't edit the video much. It's just literally my raw thoughts, and it's not designed to get loads and loads of views. It's just designed for those of you who are really passionate about marketing and about what I teach on this channel to get my raw insights, without the distraction of, having loads of editing and a thumbnail that will attract loads of people or whatever. And also it's a chance for me to just share what's genuinely been on my mind for those of you who care about that. And to be honest with you, I said this in my previous video as well, I have found it really difficult to keep up with producing content. So this Let's Chat series is a way of me kind of staying as consistent as I can be with YouTube and with content creation, whilst also running my offline business. And it's not necessarily that, every single day is jam-packed and I'm doing this and I'm traveling here and I'm doing, this, that, and the other. But a lot of what I do is either just on my computer where I'm literally doing the analytics or the ads or whatever it might be. And a lot of it as well is in my mind. So I'm planning and I'm thinking and I'm, scheduling stuff and I'm envisioning stuff. And, a lot of that mental capacity sometimes takes away from my creativity to produce as much content, especially on this channel, as I have done in previous years. But I do want to kind of document my journey as an offline business owner a little bit more, and I will be, incorporating more of that on this channel. But in the meantime, I just kind of want to share my journey with you guys. Some of you guys might be business owners as well in the marketing space, and you can learn from what I'm actually doing and the success that I'm actually seeing, the lessons that I'm learning, and so on and so forth. One of the things I did want to speak about though, I was consulting a friend recently, and this particular friend doesn't know a lot about marketing at all and doesn't really have a huge interest in learning or knowing the intricacies of marketing. And I feel like this can be an Achilles heel for a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners. The reason why I say this is because in running my offline business, my superpower is marketing. And again, I said this in my other video, I think I said it in the last video I put out, the last Let's Chat video I put out on this channel. Like the things that I teach in the formula, I know obviously, the last few years, this channel, there were points where, this channel, it is a business for me essentially. So, promoting the formula, and it's got affiliate links in there. And that's one of the ways that I make passive income as well, is through this YouTube channel, through affiliate marketing, through my courses. And, to kind of go off topic a little bit, before I started filming this video, I was thinking about, the lifestyle that I lead. I purchased a property 2 years ago. I paid off my car last year. I wake up and I don't have to think about going to an office every single day or going to a job that I dislike every single day. And a lot of my income is produced passively. So I've created businesses and I've created revenue streams that passively pay for my lifestyle. And I think sometimes I forget, how unique that is, how, essentially, there's not a lot of people that I know who are able to, make money off of their creativity and their ideas. And the reason why I'm able to do that is because of my marketing knowledge, because of my marketing background. And, last year I made the decision to take my marketing knowledge and turn it into an offline business as well. The things that I know, I thought would work really well with an offline business, especially consulting a lot of businesses. And so the friend of mine who didn't want to learn marketing or has no desire, but also runs a business, it's really damaging, I feel, to their progression. Because, you can pay a marketing agency to do your SEO, to do your ads, whatever it might be. But what people don't realize when they just hire someone to do all of that, and they have all of these expectations, you know, if they get sales, loads of sales this month, and then next month they don't, they're calling up the agency and being like, what are you guys doing? You know, I don't have any sales, and you're putting all of this pressure on the marketing agency. But essentially, what is a business owner or a business that can't drive their own leads and sales? They are 100% dependent on an agency or an external company to make them money, to bring in customers. That's a very vulnerable position to be in. As a company that can't drive your own customers. Even if you get to a stage in your company where you want to, you know, maybe subcontract out some of the sales process of your business because you get so big that you just can't do it yourself, or either that, or you just hire people, you know, you hire professional, you know, marketers or administrators who can help with the marketing. But essentially, like, I think it's such a vulnerable place to be in. And it's not a place I would ever want my business to be in, where I'm 100% reliant on an external agency and I don't know what they're doing specifically to bring me in new customers. So if you are a business owner, like, download the formula, man, especially if you don't understand marketing. You don't even have to click any of the affiliate links or buy any of the courses that I have. Like, obviously, if you do, it supports this YouTube channel. It supports, you know, me putting out more courses and whatnot. But even if you just do the free stuff, looking through these YouTube videos, downloading the free formula that I've got blog articles on my website and so on and so forth, and looking at other marketers as well, like especially some of the ones that I've collaborated with on this YouTube channel. Some of them have a wealth of knowledge that you can learn from to really understand things like search engine optimization, some of the basics to getting your website ranked in Google, things like paid ads with Meta, you know, Facebook and Instagram, paid ads on Google, you know, all of this is essential stuff, really. Social media marketing, you know, how to market your business, your product, your service using social media. All of this stuff is really important, because even if you do decide to outsource it or to employ someone to take over those things, like, it's really important as you as an entrepreneur to know how these vehicles work and know who the right person is to hire, what the right agency is, you know, to use. And you, like, for example, so part of my job role, if a company comes to me and they want, you know, advice in terms of running ads, I might not be able to run ads for them specifically, but I can point them into the direction of an agency that can run ads for them, and I will sit in the meetings. And a lot of times agencies can be lazy, so they might give you, you know, a half-baked landing page, or, you know, create you your creative for your ads, and it's not as good as it could be. So you might be driving sales, but you could be driving more sales if they were more on the ball with some of your marketing. So I can sit in the meetings sometimes with some of my clients with the agency and make sure the agency is doing what they're supposed to do to make sure that you get the best results. But if you're someone who doesn't understand marketing and you're running a business and hiring an agency, then you're not going to get the results that you need. So I encourage you guys to really deepen your knowledge in terms of marketing and what's going on around you, you know, and all of this stuff is really important. And obviously I'm going to do my best to put out as much videos as possible, courses as possible, affordably. You know, my Udemy courses are not hugely expensive. I have courses that are more expensive than others just because it took me more time to create, and there's more, you know, depth to those particular courses, but I'm going to do my best to try and update. Another thing I wanted to speak about is my journey as a business owner, some of the ups, some of the downs, some of the marketing to it, and yeah, kind of what I feel like you guys can learn from it. And I think from a marketing perspective, with everything that I know in terms of marketing, it's really important to narrow in to what your short-term goals are. And again, this is another thing I see when I'm consulting companies, especially startups, especially new companies. They're focused on their SEO and their social media and posting every day and doing all of this, where that might not be the thing that drives customers through the door and gets your company profitable. And then once you're profitable, making money, then you can allocate that money into, you know, hiring people to do content for you or making sure your website is SEO friendly. So just to add a little bit of context, like I'm not saying that these things are not important. I'm not saying social media isn't important. I'm not saying SEO isn't important. But I always think to myself as a business owner, especially if you're someone who is not driving sales yet, what's the shortest avenue to get customers, to get sales? And let's implement a strategy for that. Because once sales are coming in, especially, profitably, then you can allocate money and resources elsewhere. But if you're focusing on the elsewhere and it's not bringing you in money, then you're always going to be stuck in this loop of trying to grow a business that is not generating any income. You haven't got a customer base, all of these kinds of things. So like for those of you who are maybe at the beginning stages or you're struggling in terms of getting new customers, think about what's the shortest way to get customers through the door. Again, I'm not just promoting the formula in this video. It's not the aim, but it is genuinely helpful and it puts you on my email list. But the formula, I kind of break down different marketing avenues, different marketing strategies that you can use, from SEO to paid ads. We've got Google ads in there, we've got Meta ads, we've got YouTube. And the reason why I did that is because if you've got a bit of money to spend, it doesn't have to be huge amounts, but if you've got a bit of money to spend and you're selling a product or a service that people are actively searching for, then Google ads is potentially a really great opportunity for you. And you want to zero in on Google ads, understanding keywords, negative keywords, understanding Google Analytics and figuring out what keywords are working for you, what keywords are not working for you, and really getting into Google ads so you know how to use it to drive quality traffic back to your site. If people are not necessarily searching for your product or service, or you look on the Google keyword planner tool and your target keywords don't get a lot of searches per month, you might want to put your product or service in people's face. You want to learn how to create really great image ads or video ads and put that across YouTube or put that across Facebook and Instagram so that your product or your service gets out there, and understanding how to create a landing page and split test those landing pages. That's always going to be kind of important. So just kind of speaking about my business and some of the lessons that I've learned in terms of the marketing side of things. I launched. I don't want to really go into details in terms of the product or the service that I'm actually offering offline, because I want to go into that in the future. But I launched in a particular area in London. I decided to launch in a different area, and that sold out literally within a few days because I perfected my marketing strategy for this particular niche. And I understood what would bring people to my ad, attract people to my ad, understand what will get customers through the door, and it's going really well. So one of the most important metrics for me as a business owner and with my marketing hat on, it is something called customer acquisition cost. And I've spoken about all of these things in previous videos, so I'm not going to go too deep into kind of teaching mode in this video. But how much is it costing you to acquire a new customer? And also, continuity. What things can you do to keep a customer coming back to you again and again and again? I see online, when I first started online and I was kind of researching marketing and stuff, a lot of videos were focused on sales. How can I get more sales? How can I get more traffic to my site? How can I sell this and sell that? And to be honest with you, that's one of the reasons why I fell out of love with YouTube, because I feel like in order to get the big views, sometimes you have to focus on sales, how to drive sales or how to get 1 million sales in 2 days or whatever it might be to have a video on YouTube that does really well. Whereas actually that might not necessarily be the thing that you need in your business. Because driving sales is just part of the process. You need to focus on customers. Like, how do you get someone to buy from you once, but then love your brand so much that they buy from you again and again and again? Because acquiring a new customer, and again, I'm repeating myself because I say this in all my videos, but acquiring a new customer or getting someone to buy into your product or service for the first time can be very expensive. It's expensive to promote to them, to advertise to them. Or it's time consuming as well. If you're doing social media, if you're doing YouTube or SEO or whatever it might be, you're not paying money, but it's a time investment to get someone to make their very first purchase with you. Now, what can you do to ensure that that person continues making purchases with you so that it becomes profitable for your business? Because once they make a purchase once, then you might not need to advertise to them again, or you might do, but they might be on your email list now or following you on social media now after their first purchase. And if they had a great customer experience with your business, then they're more likely to do business with you again, to recommend your products and services and all of that good stuff. And what I'm finding in my business is now I understand on average how much it's costing me to get someone through the door. And I realize like how important it is to really nurture that person so that they have a great experience with my product, a great experience with my service, and they want to do business with me again. And that's what's allowing me to really grow my business and to ramp up. And that's what I'm really focused on. And that's what I really want you guys to learn is not just focusing on how do I get more sales for my product or for my service, is how do you build a customer base? You know, all of the things I speak about, like building an email list and getting people on your email list after they've made a purchase. These things are simple, but they're so important in terms of acquiring customers and nurturing those customers. So yeah, it feels good to be back on YouTube. I feel like I always say this, but I'm actually genuinely going to do my best to make sure that I'm not just putting out Let's Chat videos, but I'm actually carving out time to create more content, to teach you guys more about marketing. And I really want to put out more courses as well this year to help you guys even further. But if you have any specific questions, let me know in the comments below. I've been really bad, I know, with this YouTube channel this year, but I'm planning to get better, you know, and yeah, like I said, make some time to make content and to take you guys with me a little bit more along the journey of what I'm learning, because I'm always constantly growing as a marketer, as a businessman, and I want to be able to share that with you guys. So I hope you've all been good, but until next time, have a great day and I'll see you soon.